Hey friends, this is Free Opinion giving you my free opinion, and we're going to go ahead and look at Rudy Giuliani's. I'm going to be skipping around a bit today, alright? But that's because I've already marked what spots I want to go to, because I'm going to be showing you where improprieties were done, fraud, like straight up fraud. Fuck what you heard, there's fraud afoot. This fuckery has fraud written all over it, and we will be looking into it. So, the first thing is they were not allowing inspectors to be close enough to look. But I'm actually going to let him talk about what they were doing in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh. In my area, they weren't doing this. At least from what I understand, they weren't. Nobody I know from my area were allowed to do this. So this is blatantly not treating each ballot the same. The Equal Protection Act ensures that each ballot cast will be dealt with exactly as the last one would, as long as it's legal and everything is done to the letter. But I'll let him explain it. Listen.
Like this. You put your, usually in New York it would be your assembly district and the precinct in which you're voting. You fill out your name and your address and you sign it. You then use an inner envelope and you put the ballot inside the inner envelope. You seal it all and you send it in. When it's being counted, almost invariably in the United States, up until the mass cheating that went on in this election, a Republican and a Democrat inspector, as well as others, if there are other parties, is allowed to watch the unsealing of this ballot. Used to go on all over America when we conducted honest elections. Because the only time you can ever find out if it's a fraudulent ballot is when it is looked at. The minute you approve this, it's thrown away, gone for eternity. The only thing left is the vote. That could have been Mickey Mouse. That could have been a dead person. That could have been not filled out properly. That could have been the same person 30 times.
Which is why in certain areas like Philly and Pittsburgh and other areas throughout the country, they were saying, signatures don't have to match. That's because you're trying to cheat. Another thing is that there were like 15,000 provisional ballots. And you know what? I'm going to skip ahead to this, the provisional ballots part. And more I want to... Yeah, let's go right here.
T-ballot. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. And to minimize
Right
the
here,
votes in the other parts of the state. Clearly illegal, clearly voter fraud, easily provable, hundreds of witnesses, maybe thousands. We have, to give you another example, we have 17,000 provisional ballots cast in Pittsburgh. Do you know what a provisional ballot is? Provisional ballot usually happens this way, and about 15 of the 17,000 happen this way. You walk in and you say, I'm here to vote today. Oh, Mr. Giuliani, you already voted. I did? I don't remember voting. Oh, yes, you cast an absentee ballot. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. So why does that happen 17,000 times in Pittsburgh?
If you even have a mail-in ballot application, they'll give you an absentee ballot. I mean, not an absentee ballot, a provisional ballot, just in case. But if they get a mail-in ballot for you, that provisional one gets thrown out because they have your mail-in ballot now. Alright? But a lot of people in Pennsylvania that I know had to do provisional ballots because mail-in ballot applications that they never applied for were sent out to them, but they never got them. So they sent out these things. They never got to the person. Now we have to fill out provisional ballots, which now fucks up our voting, right? Because God knows if they actually counted them. If you guys seen the Detroit Leaks video fucking said that they'd take all the provisional ballots and just destroy them. Not saying that's the same in every state. I'm just saying what I seen on that video. Remember, I'm just an asshole on the internet. I'm going to link this video in the description so you guys could actually go and watch it. I think I forgot to link it in my last video, but I will in this video. Let's listen to a little more what he has to say about this, and then we're going to move on to some more voter fraud.
People walked in thinking actually 15,000 to be precise. Why did it happen 15,000 times that people in Pittsburgh walked in to vote and they had already voted according to the Democrat election machine? Did they forget? That many people with bad memories in Pittsburgh? Or is the following correct? That as witnesses will testify, they were instructed by the Democrat bosses when they had a ballot in which there was no one registered, just assign it to somebody. Just assign it to Rudy Giuliani.
So what he means right there, which they're going to have people testifying on this, is that when they would have a mail-in ballot without a name on it, they would just attribute it, or an absentee ballot with no name on it, they would just attribute it to somebody that's on the voter roll, which is illegal. You are taking somebody else's legal right to stuff in your illegal vote. Plain and simple. I don't care if the person that filled out that ballot was a legal citizen of the U.S. If they did not put their fucking name on it and you put somebody else's name on it, that is an illegal vote and should be thrown out. Plain and simple.
So when Rudy Giuliani, and maybe Rudy Giuliani won't show up to vote. And if he does show up to vote, we'll give him a provisional ballot. That is what we call circumstantial evidence of the fraud. The direct evidence of the fraud are the people who will testify that, in fact, that's what happened to them. She's been in a...
All right, so now this is a woman out of Detroit. This is her affidavit. And there's two big points that I want to get out of her affidavit. So we're going to listen to this part, and then I'm going to skip ahead to 1652. Let's do this.
Employee of the city of Detroit for decades. I know her age, but she can tell you her age. She was assigned to voting duties in September, and she was trained by the city of Detroit and the state of Michigan. She was basically trained to cheat. She said that I was instructed by my supervisor to adjust the mailing date of these absentee ballot packages to be dated earlier than when they were actually sent in.
Backdating, which the dude up in Erie said that they were being told to backdate ballots. In Detroit, they're just telling them inside the counting center to backdate the ballots. Go ahead and keep acting lefties. I know, I hear you. Y'all are saying, opinion, you're fucking insane, bro. That's a lie. Why would somebody lie under penalty of perjury, which is jail time? I think it's like a year or something like that. And then it could be up to like a, I don't know, like $5,000 fine or some shit. I'll put what perjury ends up as right here across the screen. But perjury is a penalty. Like, you get in trouble for that. On top of that, she's not the only one saying that they were told by their superiors to backdate ballots. Y'all fucking lefties really need to pull your fucking heads in, man. Because at this point, y'all are the ones looking stupid now. Especially y'all in the fucking media saying, oh, he was just talking about my cousin Vinny. Y'all could eat my balls with a side of chili.
The supervisor made that announcement for all workers to engage in that fraudulent practice. That's not me saying that. That's just American citizens saying that under oath. I don't know. Maybe you could say she's lying, but you can't say there's no evidence. This is what we call evidence. This is direct evidence.
So that's his direct evidence, which is evidence. You could use an affidavit to put somebody in jail, so why wouldn't they use it as direct evidence? So now we're going to look at this part right here. I know it's just a little bit ahead, but
I witnessed election workers and employees going over to the voting booths with voters in order to watch them vote and coach them for whom to vote. Completely illegal. She will testify to that. I don't know. Biden's people can cross-examine her, but you can't just throw it away. Gee, there's no evidence. Next time you say that, you'll be lying.
fact, they would be lying. Because he just laid out evidence, which they've laid out in the past. Or does everybody forget the 250 affidavits that Kayleigh McEnany had on TV? Y'all can keep listening to the left-wing media and all that. But remember, that's why they are failing as an institution. That's why they've been losing, what? Fuck, even Tucker Carlson got hit. And he hasn't been about the bullshit. He's been like, no, we need to look into this shit. And he lost 33% of his viewers. He still got more viewers than fucking CNN, MSNBC, or CBS. But a lot of people stopped watching them because they realized the fucking media bias. That everybody wants Biden to be president so bad because Donald Trump hurt y'all fucking feelings every time he came at the media. Maybe if you guys stop printing out lies and posting lies and half-truths, cutting him up so it's all out of context, then maybe people will start trusting y'all. But until then, I'm done watching the media. The only time I do is when they're when it's people like Giuliani talking. When it's shit that I could actually learn something from. Let's listen to a little more of what he has to say, and then I'm going to end this video.
Because there is evidence. Oh, by the way, this is public. You can all get it. It's attached to...
But they won't, because, the fucking media has their narrative, and they already have a bunch of these people fucking sucking off their fucking bullshit teat. They're not going to fucking switch up and give them actual facts. It would destroy their entire fucking existence. You know how quick Antifa will be back at a CNN building fucking kicking that door in and throwing a Molotov in there? See, come on now, man. You can't tell me that these dudes are going to do anything but tell lies. That's all they do.
The complaint in Costantino versus the city of Detroit.
Constantino versus the city of Detroit. That's where you could find this affidavit that he's reading from.
Then she was instructed by my supervisor not to ask for a driver's license or any photo ID when a person was trying to vote. Don't ask for identification. Why would you?
You know why they ask for identification when you get a vote? To make sure that you are who you say you are, and to make sure that you are a legal citizen. Because most illegal citizens don't have ID. So, and to make sure that you're actually from that state. Because I could go to New York tomorrow. It's only a 4-hour drive. I think it's a 4-hour drive. 3 or 4 hour drive. Go over to a polling place and just be like, yeah, man, I live on 52nd and Broad. Without an ID, how are they going to tell me that I don't? But if they ask me for ID, I won't have ID saying that, and then they could turn me away from the polling center. But if you don't ask somebody for their ID, how do you know they're even from the state that you are in? You don't. And that's what the Democrats wanted. Because a bunch of people can go over there just for the day to vote, and then go the fuck back home.
Not ask for identification because you knew that a lot of people not entitled to vote were going to come in and early vote because you knew that illegal immigrants were going to be allowed to vote. You knew, if you lived in Philadelphia, unless you're stunad, that's an Italian expression for stupid, unless you're stupid, you knew that a lot of people were coming over from Camden to vote. They do every year. Happens all the time in Philly. It's about as frequent as getting beat.
It actually does happen all the time in Philly. I know people that live out there that said that people come from over in New Jersey all the time.
Beaten up at a Philadelphia Eagle football game. Happens all the time. All the time. And it's allowed to happen because it is a Democrat, corrupt city. And has been for years. Many, many years. And they carried it out in places they could get away with it. They didn't carry it out in neutral places. They didn't carry it out in Republican places. They didn't carry it out where the law is respected. They carried it out in a corrupt city where the district attorney releases ballots were fraudulent. And they knew that. And they didn't want to have a counter. Don't look for any deficiencies in the ballots. I was instructed not to look at any of the signatures on the absentee ballots. If she was instructed not to look for any of the signatures on the absentee ballots, why the heck do you sign it in the first place?
Exactly. Now, I'm going to end it right here. I'm going to link this in the description because I think everybody should go and watch this so you could see how much the media has been lying lately. I mean, anybody that thinks the media tells the truth, you guys got to get your brains examined because I think that y'all fucking lost a couple. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this. This was only a couple points out of there's still another like 30, almost 40 minutes of just Giuliani talking. Go over and watch it. Alright? I think they're telling the truth because they have the receipts. There's no way that they're going to have this many fucking people coming out and being like, no, this is what happened. This is what happened. If it wasn't really happening, bro. People ain't going to go to jail for President fucking Trump. No goddamn way. No goddamn way. I won't even go to jail for my own fucking dad. What makes you think I'd go to jail for some billionaire? Fuck out of here, bro. And I like Donald Trump. Still want to go to jail for the man. Plain and simple. Alright. But please, guys, when you're out and about tomorrow, be nice to somebody. You never know. It might save your life.
I'd like to read them all to you, but I don't have the time. You should have had the time and energy to go look for them. That's your job. Like it's my job to defend the president and to represent the president. It's your job to read these things and not falsely report that there's no evidence. Do you know how many affidavits we have in the Michigan case? 220 affidavits. They're not all public, but 8 of them are.
Alright, I just wanted to put that out there because I love that Rudy Giuliani went and bashed the media, like a lot of us have been, because they don't do their fucking job, yet they get paid so much money from ad revenue and shit. But we're hitting them bitches where it hurts because the less people watch, the less money they get on that ad revenue. But, alright guys, have a good night.